On today's podcast, everybody, I am so excited to welcome the greatest female swimmer of all time, Missy Franklin, everybody. All right, 5-time Olympic gold medalist, world record holder, a member of the International Swimming Hall of Fame. Beyond the pool, Missy's journey has been about faith, resilience, and finding a new purpose after retiring from competitive swimming. She is now a wife, a mom, a Burn Boot Camp brand champion, a Bellevue, Tennessee Burn Boot Camp member, and an advocate for athletes everywhere navigating the transition from sport to life. And her story is about much more than just medals. It's about the courage to evolve from who you are today to who you're going to be tomorrow. Put your hands together. Let's welcome Missy Franklin. Welcome to the Burn Podcast, where strength meets science, food fuels energy, and mindset creates momentum. I'm DK, your personal trainer, and I want you to train, eat, and think differently. So get ready to take your health and fitness to the next level here on the Burn Podcast. Let's get to work. You know, you've had a season in life where you're having your second child, and congratulations.
Thank you.
Baby Chase.
Baby Chase.
Yeah. And your daughter, your older daughter is Caitlin.
Caitlin. Yeah.
And so 2 girls.
2 girls, which has been amazing. You know, it's funny at first when we found out Chase was going to be a girl, I was convinced she was going to be a boy. We didn't find out with Caitlin, which was really fun. But we wanted to find out with Chase because we wanted Caitlin to get excited about either a baby brother or baby sister. And at first I was like, oh, it kind of would have been fun to have one of each. And now that we have 2 girls, I'm like, oh, God knew what he was doing. Like, this is exactly what our family needed. And to like see their sisterhood has just been already like the sweetest thing in the whole world. But as I was telling you, for as long as I can remember, my dream job has been mom. Like, even when I was competing at the Olympic level, like my dream job was mom. Like, ever since I was that 5-year-old that had 13 baby dolls, just like Caitlin is, that was, you know, was just obsessed with babies. And so I don't want to miss anything. I don't want to miss a thing. And I'm so fortunate that I can still do things that I love and things that I'm passionate about and still feel really present at home with my family. So that's what a lot of my days are right now, is just being home with my family. And Caitlin's in school 3 days a week, so that gives me some time to be with Chase. But then, as I'm sure we'll talk about, I also have my toes dipped in multiple different waters. And so it keeps me busy enough that I'm checking in and still trying to make progress and move forward with the amazing companies and people that I get to work with.
Yeah. And you have definitely been an amazing part of Burn, and thank you for being such a brand champion. And shout out to Bellevue, Tennessee, everybody.
Bellevue.
Got Missy Franklin in the building today.
Best. It's the best.
5-time, not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, but 5. There's 5 of them, everyone. Olympic gold medals, not just medals. And, you know, your representation of excellence in everything that you do. We just got done killing it on a core strength conditioning workout. And thank you for being here for that, by the way.
Oh my gosh, thank you for training it. It was awesome.
Yeah, I had so much fun just torturing you on the floor. Like, that's my favorite thing to do is train and be on that mic, and
you can tell. And
to be able to just watch you and be with you to train, and like every little thing that I say, like get a little further here, or range of motion here, or up your weights there. You do it with excellence, and that is evidence of you just being that way in all areas of your life, and because you can see it when the littlest things. Like, I have a feeling that you believe, and you tell me if I'm wrong, that how you like kind of do the little things, the mundane things, the routine things, is, and your approach to that is a representation of how you do everything and how you show up in life overall.
Yes, without a doubt. I mean, I was in a sport my whole life that came down to 100th of a second. Like, the small things were the big things. Like, that was what you think about it. Of the crazy thing about swimming is you're training, 2 to 5 hours a day for a 1 to 2 minute race. You know, that it's so much that you're doing on a day-to-day basis. And so you have to get so particular about the details. And that's been one of my favorite things about Burn, is as you continue to do it, I like to think that it never gets easier. You just get stronger and you get more intentional about what you're doing. And it's so cool to see the progress. And I was doing Burn on Demand the other week, and I was doing the ab wheel. And it was just one of those things that clicked where I felt like I was stuck at the same range of motion. And then the other week, just fully down to the ground. Yes. And it was just like, oh, and that was what I loved about swimming is sometimes you just it felt like you were just putting in work. But then when you got to that meet and you dropped however much time in your best event, you got that PR, it was just like electric. And so it's given me a space to channel so much of that, which I didn't really think I was going to have a space like that again. So I'm just eternally grateful.
Yes. I'm glad you have the space, and I'm glad you found Bellevue, Tennessee.
Oh, they're so great.
Burn Boot Camp. Shout out to you guys.
Shout out. My fam.
Yes. We got your very own here today, working hard with us. Hopefully Hayes, and maybe Caitlin and Chase can listen later. Definitely not Chase. How old is Caitlin now?
She's 4.
So she could listen to her mom. She could be like, Mommy, it's Mommy on the TV
she does.
right there.
She listens to our podcast in the car with my mother-in-law sometimes, and she's like, "Oh, it's Mommy and
Katie." Yeah. What makes you nervous about being a mom? You know, there's so many joy, like being a dad, having a 9-year-old, a 7-year-old, and a 5-year-old. There's so many joys to it, but also it is probably my most joyous times being with them. And then when I have fears, now all my fears are rooted in my kids. Do you feel? Are you the same way?
Yes, 100%. You know, I think this has been such a fun age, but already like you start to see the habits forming and the mindsets. And I think for me, you know, I don't know if it's a fear as much of just an intention. I just want to set the best foundation I possibly can with my kids and with their attitude and with their hearts and their kindness and who they are as people. And I feel like these years are just so important for that. And it's been so beautiful just to see the person that Caitlin is. And so often Hayes and I stop and we just take a minute to kind of reflect and look at each other, because I think we need to do this more too, just as people, but just like recognize the success and the celebration. So whenever Caitlin does something we're so proud of, I make sure to stop and look at him and be like, hey, we're doing good.
Yeah.
You know, like, great job. I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of us. Like, we're still figuring it out. Like, obviously every day is a learning process, but I am terrified for the teenage years. If I'm being fully honest, I am already terrified.
Yeah.
I've gotten a couple eye rolls and I have stopped them in their tracks, but I am very scared.
I know. I feel it. Like, Cam's 9.
That was just crazy.
And I heard somebody, which I thought was really good advice. It wasn't like a popular podcast or anything. It was just like a normal person said, we were talking about kids, we were talking about parenting. And I said, okay, you know, you've had 4 or 5 children. They're all grown. One's a doctor, one's a lawyer, one's a this, one's a that. They're all successful. Give me your like one piece of parenting advice that if you could only give one advice, what would it be? And they said, keep your threats. You have to keep your threats. And I was like, that's a harsh way to put it. That was my first initial reaction. I was like, threat? I don't want to threaten my children. But then what I realized is that it's true in the sense of, especially kids that are going to, like, our kids are going to grow up and they're going to be able to see mom's gold medals and see mom was an Olympian, and they're going to get special privileges because of that. Right. Yeah. And there's no secret to that. My kids are going to grow up in that same environment where things, I had it tough, growing up, and they're not going to have it that way.
Yeah.
And so, you have to, we do what mom and dad say to do and follow the family principles, or else there is consequences. And we went for a couple years with kind of being soft.
Yeah.
We did. We didn't keep our threats, and if you keep doing that, we're going to have this consequence, and we would say it but not do it. And and we had to end that. We had to shut that down, Missy.
And that's a hard thing to do.
Shut it down. Yeah,
it's such a hard thing to do.
So much.
Yeah. And then they give you the cutest little faces. You're like, oh, maybe we can let this one slide. But I love that. I heard one recently that has actually like had a profound impact on me, and it's all feelings are welcome, but all behaviors are not.
Okay. Yeah.
And I loved that one too. Of like, we can validate how you're feeling, but there's a but. Like, we still need to be respectful. We still need to, treat mommy and daddy and grandma and grandpa with respect. And I've really liked that, because you can like validate, like, yeah, I'm sure that's upsetting. I'm sure you're mad. I'm sure you're angry. I'm sure you're frustrated. But still, like, it's actually how we handle ourselves in those moments. And when we're feeling those feelings, that's going to make us the person that we are.
Yeah, that's definitely for sure. Was Hayes excited when he Did he want a boy initially? Did you guys, or was it
You know,
indifferent, or was
we've
it God's plan, or whatever?
always joked that he is such a girl dad.
Okay.
He's such a girl dad. I mean, obviously he loves Chase more than anything in the world, but he's really, I feel like especially the last 5 months since we've had her, he's always been very close to Caitlin, but the last 5 months, I think their relationship, just with how much he's had to step in, it's been really incredible to see their bond. And she just loves him with her whole heart. And it is so precious. And I am so thankful to have a partner that is such a present husband and father in our lives. Despite everything that he has going on, I mean, he has so much on his plate, but I mean, from when we started dating, he told me that his priority was going to be a husband and a father. And the fact that he's just like held true to that day to day for the last, next week is our six-year wedding anniversary.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So it's been really amazing to see, but he is such a girl dad.
Oh, that's amazing. And you guys did, Chelsea, I think there's an Instagram post where you guys did your reveal. Yeah. And I think Caitlin was in like a PJ Masks costume or something.
Yes,
like an owlet costume.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Some people do cute baby gender reveals, and we dressed up as the PJ Masks. So if that gives you any insight, that was when we announced we were pregnant. And it was Halloween of last year, and Kate was just fully in her PJ Masks stage, and she wanted to be Owlette. So I was like, let's just, for kicks, see if they make 6'2" sized gecko and catboy costumes, and they do, in fact, make them. So
yeah, because you guys are both really tall. He was a swimmer too, correct?
He was.
Okay.
Yep. So he swam at the University of Texas, and then he is now actually on a professional triathlon team.
Oh, sick.
So he's been doing 70.3s, and that's been an amazing experience for our family. And the most recent one, he's on Octagon Elite. And he just, in Louisville, qualified for World Championships.
Oh, awesome.
So the whole family, we're going to Nice
Let's
next
go.
September.
That's cool.
So we're so excited.
I was in Kona in Hawaii, and I saw the Ironman finals.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. These athletes were insane. It was good. I mean, you just saw people like incredible, incredible. I don't even know how to explain it. Just the way, talking about detail.
Oh, yeah.
The way they, when you're doing these type of triathlons or anything, swimming, biking, running, you dial it into like the amount of energy your body outputs over a sustained period of time.
Yeah. It's been such a learning
this is the one. We have it. We want to show it. This is the picture.
Yep. And we had the little pink superhero mask.
Yep. I love it. I
think I was already like 20 weeks pregnant at the time, but we were down in Georgia visiting my brother and sister-in-law, and it was so fun. We were so happy to finally announce it.
And was this random, or was this planned?
This was planned.
Okay, all right.
Yeah,
you didn't just wake up one day and be like, we're going to go get the giant 6'2" PJ Masks.
We're like, if we're dressed up as a big superhero family, why not say we're just going to add one more superhero to the pack?
What principles have you already began to teach Caitlin? Obviously, kids are going to watch us and they're going to learn and they're going to emulate. But what I found is that words also really matter, and the words that you use, they will parrot your words, they will emulate your words. So I got to be careful, when Morgan and I, especially if there's, business and personal life for us is like one and the same. So
for sure,
there's sometimes when we have to go in the other room to talk about.
Well, they're sponges.
Business things, because they might be talking about something they're not ready for yet.
Yeah.
How do you navigate the health and fitness principle, or like the family principles, and especially when it comes to health and fitness, right? I think most of the people listening to this are either burn members or one or two, kind of relationships removed from a burn member. So we're a small but mighty audience.
Yes.
And I think they'd love to hear from you on just family values.
Yes.
Crossing your swimming world, Hayes' swimming world, all the values, all the leadership, all the principles that you acquired there. I mean, dude, you were a superstar at 17 years old. You're basically a kid. Right? And it just came at you.
Totally.
Right? And you have to learn how to adapt quickly. I'm sure your parents were involved in that. So just give me that whole world of how you accumulated your values, married those with Hayes' values, and now are passing those on to your children.
Yeah, it's been so interesting because Caitlin is really starting, as we mentioned, getting to that age where we're starting to have those opportunities arise, where I'm realizing like, oh, this is a teaching moment. Like this is something that we can use. And I think for us, Number one for me is kindness. Like that is what I want to teach her more than anything is, and that has been my foundational belief for as long as I can remember, is just be kind. Like to anyone, whoever you come across, you never know what someone else is going through, and you never know how that can change someone's day by just simply like taking a moment and being kind. So being kind, and then you talk about the importance of words, and it's so true. And I find especially at this age, they have to be, at any age really, but they have to be backed up by actions. So anything that we're trying to teach Caitlin, we're also just as much trying to show her as much as we are telling her. So when it comes to health and fitness in particular, like talk about just setting the example by doing. Like your children notice the lifestyle you live. And that's the coolest thing about Burn is, you're not leaving them at home and then going and working out and moving your body. You actually get to bring them with you into this. They get to see it. They get to be there for that. You have mommy and me camp. You have kids camp. You have Burn on demand at home, where normally Caitlin will stay in her room until we turn her birds on and she knows she can come out. But recently I've been letting her come into the big room with me where we have our gym and I'm doing Burn on demand, and she'll just play in there while I'm working out. But I was like, I want her to see this. Like, this is how mommy starts her day. This is what makes her feel good. This is what brings her joy. And then the things that kind of come along with that, we are trying to implement some family game nights.
Oh,
and so
sweet.
that has started the whole conversation of winning and losing and the attitudes we need to have.
Oh boy. All right. Welcome to the Kline household on a Wednesday night. It is cutthroat right now with the competition. It is so crazy.
I was not expecting, but she gets obviously so excited when she wins, so happy. And the other day we were playing a game and she lost and she started sobbing and she got super, super upset. And Hayes and I are like, all right, this is a moment. This is a moment. And we're
are you guys like, in a sense, like, good, she needs to experience that?
Yes.
Okay.
She's going to lose.
Even though your heart hurts at the same time.
Totally,
Like,
she's going to lose. She's going to lose.
She's going to lose.
She's going to lose.
Right.
We're all going to lose. She's going to fail. She's going to make mistakes. I'd rather teach her how to do that rather than prepare her for it not happening.
Ooh, I got a question. If you were to show her back one clip of you swimming in which you lost, or like a memory, and you were to do like show it an example of like, hey, this is how you do lose. This is how you don't lose.
I mean, the entirety of the Rio Olympics.
Okay.
Like that was just like such, gosh, a heart-wrenching, disappointing, failure-filled 8 days. Like, I mean, I still walked away with a gold medal, but, people had expectations of me to do so much more based on my performance in London. And it was just like I was walking off the deck and I was getting bombarded by the media of what's wrong with you, what's going on, where's the real Missy, like all of this. And this was something I had dedicated the last 4 years of my life to, hoping to be better than I had ever been. And it didn't fall into place. And if you're an athlete or just a person that's put a lot of effort and work into something and it doesn't happen, like, how devastating that is. Like, it's hard to describe. And I just knew in that choice, I had a moment of like, I could make excuses. I could be a bad sports person, but that's not who I am. And that's not who I want to be in this moment. Like, I want to be the same person in defeat as I am in success. And so that's what I tried to do for all of Rio. So I think I would definitely go back and show her that. And that's exactly what we told her that night is we were actually, to be honest, I was a little harsh about it. I was like, we are not going to continue playing until you shake mommy's hand and say, good job. And she wasn't ready to do that for a while. So I was like, that's fine. But like, this is how it works. Like, you want people to be excited to play with you, and people aren't going to be excited to play with you if when you lose, so it's like, of course, is it okay to be sad? Totally. Losing's not fun. So like, yes, be sad about it 100%. But again, feelings valid, behavior's not. Like, make sure you still shake the hands of the people, say good job, and then we can try again and we can play another game and you might win that one. So
yeah.
But she's 4. So.
Yeah. Teach them how to lose. Well, yeah, and it's almost like good, let it out. What I don't want to do is sit here and make, it's okay, honey. It's okay.
Yes.
You can, it's okay. It's just a game. Like, to us, it might be just a game, but at her level, or any kid's level, that is a big deal. That's
Totally.
a representation of like an adult thing,
Yep.
but in their little world. And so it is something that you can really practice on, like mental resilience, taking a loss. And I'll tell you what, same thing in the Kline household. It is sometimes it's gotten better as the kids are getting a little older, but it gets to the point where they lose a game and it is bad sportsmanship.
Yep.
It's like you almost have to say, coach them through it. So you kind of going back to your family values and where you get that. When was that installed in you?
Oh, day one. Day one.
Dad and mom were just
yes. Yep. Hands down. I mean, they put me in every sport growing up, which I loved because I got to try everything and see what I liked and see what I didn't. But that was something that from the very beginning, you know, they emphasized the importance of, I think, just being a good teammate.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I did a lot of team sports and they were like, there's a lot of things that you can do as a teammate, you know, whether, you know, it's above just your performance on the team. You know, are you encouraging your teammates? Are you giving them high fives? Like when you lose, like how are you impacting your team? And I think just growing up, I saw a lot of that. And a lot of people think of swimming as an individual sport, but it's actually very team oriented. And when you go to a meet and you have someone on your team that goes out and has a bad swim and they come back to the team area and they're moping, they're sad, they throw their cap and goggles down, like they're frustrated, like you can just tell that energy, it's contagious.
Right.
So then all of a sudden everyone else in the team area like gets kind of quiet, like it's just, and like, again, you can tell. So it's not about like have those feelings, but go to the warm down pool. Like take some time, have those feelings. When you're ready, come back to the team area. You have someone coming up in the next heat, go over, give them a high five, say good luck. You know, like there's just kind of that balance. And I think seeing that over the years and also for me feeling just how important it was for me to be a good teammate.
Mm-hmm.
Like I've had great teammates that have changed my life and have made such a profound impact on me. And I wanted to be that teammate. You see it every day at Burn On Demand, like today, like just some of the hardest stuff, but you've got the most incredible people in this room that are just encouraging you and shouting for you and yelling your name and like, you've got this. And like, there's nothing better than that. And so to be able to do that for other people, like that's always what I've wanted to do.
Yeah. And did you have, I mean, I'm sure along the way you've had bad teammates too, right? Yeah. And it's like that, it sucks the energy out of you and out of the room. And so every time I've ever seen you walk into a room, and I'm saying this because it's true, okay? I wouldn't gas Missy up in front of you guys, all right? Every time you walk into a room, you are immediately, your chest is tall, your shoulders are back, you're smiling, like you enter every room with an intention, I can tell. It's not whatever happened in your car, you know, or whatever you're dealing with in your personal life that might not be going exactly according to blueprint. You're going to set that aside for a moment.
Yeah.
We're talking about this with your podcast too, right?
Yeah.
You're going to set it aside and you're going to show up in the way that other people need you to show up because you're so used to being that good teammate. And I just think it's a really good point.
Thank you.
It's such a good point. And then your kids are going to watch you doing that, see you doing that, and they're not even going to have to know the words to say. They're just going to follow the example. The example.
Thanks, Devan.
That you set. No, for sure. And that's what makes Trisha and I, our VP of marketing, who is also our co-host to the podcast, is you guys
love her so much.
All know and love. That's what, you know, when Trisha and I talk about building our brand champion program, we want it like you were the very first like elite athlete in it because you were at Bellevue and you were working out and we were like, oh my God, that's Missy Franklin. She's working out at our Bellevue gyms. We feel important now because she's like at our Bellevue. And then we talk to you and it's just like, oh yeah, she's got what we call the burn energy.
Yeah.
It's all that means is it's the positivity. It's the optimism. It's the setting yourself aside so that you can show up for others. It's being rooted in core value. Having integrity, doing what you say you're going to do and you say you're going to do it, being authentic, and all those things just shine with the relationship. So I'm very excited to continue it. And I'm glad we're on year 2.
Me too.
Yeah.
It's been so like, really cool. Even today, like just doing the live, I'm like, I can't believe I get to do this. Like, this is so cool. And it's so real. Like back home in Bellevue, truly our closest friends are all people that we have met through Burn in Bellevue. And it's just been amazing to grow my relationships with them. And we just started a Bible study. Oh, so cool. I'm leading a Bible study with a bunch of women from the gyms. Like that has been so cool too.
That's cool. And did the members organize that?
I did.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
I love that, Missy.
So that's been so awesome. And it's just like, because again, like this is Burn Boot Camp is what brings you together, right? Like this is like the center, like that's the hub where you get to meet, you get to connect. And then it allows for this space outside of the gym to connect to, right? Where like, I want to continue to get to know these amazing people on a deeper level, on a more intimate level, and continue to foster this community that this amazing place has given us to begin with. So it's just been, it's so cool. And then every time I get to come out here, I just get so, and this is my first time coming with the families. Like that's been so awesome.
They're all
too.
here
They're
too.
all here.
Oh, good. Awesome. All right. Well, Hayes, you escaped my workout. Maybe next time you're going to be on
He
the floor.
went to Lake Norman this morning. So
okay,
yes,
good. So good. Nice. All right. We'll get him in here with you next time.
He would
too.
love it. He would love it.
It'll be fun. He's a burn bro because you guys both go to.
Yes, we love family workouts.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. And being able to bring Caitlin and now Chase in to watch you. Again, it's that where they get to watch you and emulate you. And now that, here's an interesting thing we can talk about. It's like hard work has one or of two associations. Kids can either correlate their parents working hard with misery, or they can correlate their parents working hard with extreme happiness. And the answer, it depends on how you show up as a parent. I was watching this clip of, what is his name? He is a motivational speaker. His name is Les Brown. And Les Brown said, maybe you can find this clip, Chelsea. He said, it's called the No Matter What clip, Les Brown. Look at YouTube, No Matter What, Les Brown. And Les Brown, he's like I think he's a former preacher, and he turned like motivational speaker. And so he brings his preaching into a motivational speaking environment. And he has this whole thing where he says, I'm a no matter what person, right? When I get home from work and I've been working hard all day, I'm not going to, even if I had a bad day, I'm not going to show up and be miserable because my kids are going to see that, and I'm going to be happy no matter what. He goes, I'm going to pick them up no matter what. He goes on this rant of like, I'm going to pick my kids up no matter what. I don't care if they're 20 years old. I'm going to pick them up no matter what. It's just like this attitude and this mentality of like, I'm going to work hard no matter what. And despite how I'm feeling, I'm going to pursue that in which I'm passionate about. And because of that, I will be happy, even when hard work is there. That's not going to be it. It's a YouTube clip, like a longer form one. It's okay if you can't find it, but yeah, Les Brown. Have you heard of Les Brown ever?
I haven't.
Okay.
I'm going to have to look up his stuff after this.
He motivates you. He's like a father figure of,
I love that.
Inspirational speaking. So anyways, my point is, I want to hear your comments on this, is like, you could go to the gym and you can work hard and you could say, wow, that's the best 45 minutes I've ever had. Look how much I challenged myself. Look how much I overcame my doubts and my struggles and my insecurities. Or you could say, 45 minutes was so hard.
Yeah.
It sucked. I hated it. It was so painful. And even if you're playing, even if there's a little bit of jest in that, it's like, kids don't understand that.
Yep.
If you come home and you're like, oh, such a long day. My boss was so annoying. Or whatever it is, like if you come home with these negative attitudes, your kids are going to start to associate hard work with negativity. If you come home with a positive attitude and you pick your kids up no matter what, they're going to start to associate work and hard work with you being happy.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
100%. I've never thought about it that way either. And that's really neat, because I think for me, that I'll beyond, like, that has come easy to me, the working out part and having a good attitude, because those go hand in hand. Like, I just feel so much better after I've moved my body. Like, I get a negative attitude when I haven't had a chance to do that. But after camp, I mean, whether it was the hardest camp I've ever taken in my life, or it was an arm day that I crushed and I feel great, like, she comes out of Child Watch and I'm just happy. Like, I'm just like, I'm so glad I got to do that. I got to see my friends. Like, I got to move my body in a way that makes me feel confident and strong. But it's amazing that association with hard work is there. But that's so important, because that's such a lesson that, like, permeates every single aspect of your life, you know, whether it is your job, whether it's school, you know, like helping them have that attitude when it comes to their education of like, yes, homework, let's have a positive attitude about it. You know, how can we go about this so it's something that you enjoy doing, you enjoy learning. So again, you're associating it with something that makes you happy and makes you feel fulfilled. But we're still getting into I'll be interested to see, especially as she gets more into sports, like how it translates. Yes.
Yeah. And, you know, I've taken this advice from Les Brown. This is a very impactful thing for me. We can probably find the video and play it, Chelsea. I sent it to you. but like just what he says in this video is, we'll put it in the description just in case we can't find the clip here. But no matter what has been a phrase that's stuck with me.
Yeah.
You know, like no matter what, it's our choice to determine what the meaning of the experiences that we have in life are.
Yeah.
Life is done for you,
Yeah.
right? Not to you. And, you know, when you're an elite level athlete like yourself, we have something in common, by the way. We both stopped at 23. Oh, the only difference was you had 5 gold medals when you stopped, and I was a minor league baseball farmhand that saw a cup of tea and double A and won no medals.
Listen,
I won 0 medals.
Don't do yourself dirty like that.
But we did retire at the same time.
23.
Yeah, and you know, swimming is one of those sports where, similar to maybe like a gymnastics, there's like a shorter lifespan to it, right?
Yep.
And you know, so in 2012 in London, you have just a life-changing Olympic Games, and you had won a bunch of titles coming into that. So you like 11 world championships in and around that time.
Yeah.
How did 2012, the London Olympics, how did that either change your personality, or how did that confirm your identity?
Yeah, that's a great question. I would say that the biggest way it changed my personality was, it was like right at the time where I feel like social media was starting to take off. So in a way, I'm very thankful for that I was kind of on the front end, because at 17 years old, like that's a lot to deal with, like having that kind of success on an Olympic stage, and then you add the social media aspect to it, and then you add the fact that I'm a junior in high school going into my senior year. And I think the biggest thing for me is I am a born people pleaser. Like I just want everyone around me happy all the time. And after the Olympics, I realized that now that I was in more of a public eye, that was going to be a very hard thing to do, and I would drain myself entirely if I let it. Mm-hmm. And the big thing there was my decision to remain amateur and not turn professional, because I wanted to swim in college. Because at the time there was no NIL. Like that was not an option for me. I had to either accept money, become a professional athlete, and then I couldn't swim in college, or I could remain amateur, not accept anything, and swim in college. And I wanted to swim in college. Like we've talked about how much I love being a part of a team. And collegiate swimming for me that is like the top of the top. Like that is team swimming, is when you are part of a college team, you're working towards an NCAA championship together. I wanted that so much. And it was just so hard for me to hear and listen all of a sudden to feedback from all of these people telling us we were making a huge mistake and that we were crazy and that how could we think this way? And I was like, well, hold on a second. Like, you don't even really know me or my family or why this decision is what it is for us. And so it was so hard because I was so upset that people I didn't even know were upset. And so that was kind of my first introduction into like, you just have to do what's best for you and your family. And as much as you can, like, don't listen to the opinions of people that you wouldn't take advice from in the first place.
Ooh, I love that. Say that again.
Don't take opinions from people that you wouldn't take advice from.
All right. That's a tweet right there. That is a tweet.
And that's hard. And
yeah.
I still struggle with it because I care a lot about what people think. But I think especially becoming a mom, that's been a huge lesson of like, and it's helped me, I think, become very thoughtful and respectful of other parents and families too, of like, you need to do what is best for your family. And every family is different and every person is different. And I'm going to do what's best for mine. And let's just support one another in that and be happy and live our lives.
And I think you share that in common with a lot of people, the aspect of people pleasing and just that being like the default network.
Yep.
Right. And, that kind of ties into positivity and optimism that you also naturally have.
Yeah.
So what mechanisms did you use? You gave us one kind of belief system, right? How would you teach somebody that was sitting here, let's just say, which I try not to be, but I also am, to somebody that likes to see other people happy.
Yeah.
Right? Or people pleaser. I just enjoy seeing people happy.
Same. Yeah.
But oftentimes people pleasing is the art of wanting people to be happy more than they want to be happy themselves, or falsifying happiness in some way,
Yeah.
making it some type of facade. What mechanisms do you have? How would you coach me if I was a people pleaser? What would you tell me to, you have to do this. You can't do this. If you really want to live a fulfilled, positive, optimistic life, you can't be that.
Yeah.
Because you're not going to do that, which is going to lead to, maybe some mild depression.
100%.
Yeah.
And I think that was something I struggled with, and I didn't really realize it. And it was kind of leading up to Rio. But I realized that my positivity had actually turned into toxic positivity, which was essentially me completely ignoring how I was actually feeling and just like plastering on a smile and pretending like everything was okay and not actually acknowledging what was going on. So I think the thing that I would say is you have to validate your actual feelings. Like, you need to take a moment to be like, to be honest, I don't love the phrase fake it till you make it.
Okay.
Because I just think that it doesn't allow you to sit and be uncomfortable with how you're actually feeling in that moment. Like, I would rather acknowledge it and work on it until you make it.
Right.
And so I think that was something that I really struggled with until I sat down and was like, hey, this is how I'm actually feeling, but I'm going to choose positivity anyway. And so it was less about I'm going to pretend like none of this is there and I'm going to fake positivity, as opposed to I'm going to recognize that all of this is going on and this is how I'm feeling, but I'm still going to see the glass half full. I'm still going to see the good. I'm still going to see the positive. And I think that is a misconception about positive and optimistic people, is that it just comes so effortlessly every single day. It's a choice every day. Every day you wake up. It doesn't matter if you've always been positive or you're working on positivity. You have to wake up in the morning and consciously choose, I am going to see the good today. Like, that is how I want to live. That's how I'm going to go about my life. That's the example I want to set for my girls, is I want to have this foundation of gratitude and I'm going to choose to see the good. But alongside that, I'm going to validate when it's hard. I'm going to validate when it's a struggle, because it's also life. And like, that's what we're going to go through. But even in those times, I'm going to choose to focus my eyes on the good.
And being in the public eye, the way that you were, your career catapulted in London, you were everywhere, the hottest thing in swimming at the time, 4 gold medals in London, 1 in Rio. You mentioned the word misconception, and I know that at scale like that, because I even get that, and I'm not nearly like, I'm like burn famous because I started burn people, and people care about it, and like, so they have admiration for me because like I do for other like founders of companies that I love.
Something incredible
that people care about, and the whole country cares about how we do in the Olympics, right? So you're like on a whole nother level. So I know there's misconceptions of Missy Franklin out there that you're looking at it and you're like, wow, I can't believe that this thing got to that point. How do you? Because everyone has some microcosm of that in their life.
Yep.
Whether you are, parents at, part of a PTA at your kid's school, or, you're at the HOA of your neighborhood, there's always that, somebody is misrepresenting or has this misconception of me. How do you continue to, navigate that positivity without getting bitter toward the people that do have that type of attitude toward you? And I think the way that you handle it, as we're listening to that, it's like everybody can take a piece of advice from that.
Yeah. I handled it very much the way I did my athletic career, my swimming, is that I was in charge of my lane and my preparation. So I get up for an Olympic final. I'm behind lane 5. Guess what I can do about the other 7 lanes?
Nothing.
Not a thing. Not a thing. I can't control what they do. I can't control how they race. I can't control what their time's going to be that day. And I just have to trust in my preparation. And I might be the fastest that day. I might not. But that's the thing with sport, and that's also the thing with life. And when it comes to other people's misconceptions of you, I think I've honestly gotten to a point where I can't do anything about it. You're like numb to it at this point? Yes. It's like I have to just keep being authentic and being who I am. And if someone else misinterprets something or has a different idea, I don't have control over that. And I think I spent so long spending so much energy like trying to make sure it was the right image and I was saying the right thing. And I'll always be thoughtful of that. Like, that's something that's very, very important to me. But it's so funny. I have people that come up to me for my swimming career that that competed with me at the time, that got to know me, that were like, to be honest, like, we thought you were faking it. Like, we thought that it was all an act, that like you were just like so in love with swimming and we're so happy. Like, we thought it was just all for the media. And now that we know you, like, we realize, like, oh, that's actually you. Like, that's who you are. And so some people will get it, and some people will start, like, get to know the real you, and they'll understand. And those are the people you want in your lives, right?
Yeah, for
So
sure.
I think just trying not to spend, especially as when you get to this phase, when you're chasing around kids and you only have so much energy. And so you just have to be so careful about when and how you spend it.
What was your favorite championship race, whether it be in the Olymp? And you might have been asked this before. This might not be a hard-hitting question for you, but I want to see if we can actually pull up a clip of her, whatever race is her absolute favorite. And I want you to talk me through the mindset of Missy at the time.
Okay.
As we're going through this. Okay. Can we do that?
Yes, absolutely.
I think that'll be kind of fun. What do you think, Chelsea?
I love it.
We're going to find,
all right, Chelsea, it is, all right, let me see if I can remember the dates. It's my 200 freestyle from NCAA championships in 2015.
All right. We should be able to find that on YouTube.
2015. You can put in American record and see if that comes up.
Missy Franklin, American record, swimming.
So backstory for the race is this was my second and final year competing collegiately. Because when I went to go swim in college, I was very upfront that I was just going to swim 2 years and then turn professional heading into the Rio Olympic Games. And so... Let's see,
That's the one, right? Is that the one?
No, that's high school, I think.
Oh, wow.
That's a red parka. That's old school.
Women's 200 free, Heat 2, 2014 finals, Women's NCAA.
Let me think. That one.
That one.
Yes.
That's the one?
I think so.
Okay, keep going. And
I think so.
We'll play this in a minute.
So, Greensboro, yes.
Is this the one?
That's the one. So I had won the 200 freestyle at NC2As my first year. And this second year, there's another amazing athlete. Her name is Simone Manuel. And she is a phenomenal athlete. She's still competing. And for whatever reason, this collegiate season, they pitted us against each other like you would not believe.
They want to sell some tickets.
Oh, yes. Like every 200 freestyle from Pac-12s to NC2As to our dual meet in season, like it was just this huge head-to-head between Simone and I. And we got to NC2As and the American record was right above. It was like a 140.1, I think. And that was what I had gone the year before at NC2As. And I wanted more than anything to be the first woman to break 140 and go 139. And training had been so hard that year. And all throughout training camp, I literally had 139 written everywhere. And all I wanted was just that 139.9. At that point, I was like, same. Simone's going to do what Simone's going to do. But I just want to go out there and break 140. And Devan, is so hard to describe. It's almost like the runner's high for swimming, but it was like the second I dove in, it was just like something took over me, and I just like I don't remember a thing about the actual race because it was literally just like I blacked out and I just did what I had been training for so long, and I just knew that something magical was about to happen, and it was just like one of the most amazing experiences. And I think it's the only record I still hold, but I've held it now for a decade.
And it's pretty impressive to hold a swimming record for a decade, isn't it? Right?
Yes. And I guess, I mean, I spoil it a little bit, but so I wanted to break 140. I ended up going a 139.1.
Okay. All right. We're gonna play this.
Broke it by almost a full second. So that's myself, and then Simone's right next to me in lane 5.
Okay, so they pitted you guys up next to each other the whole time.
Yes, whole time. So this was like supposed to be this like
go ahead and roll, guys.
Battle.
All right.
I don't think I've ever watched this back.
What are you thinking about as you're up here next to Simone? Are you locked in yet?
I'm locked in. Yep, this is about the point. And I think this is where I'm like, I just have to focus on my own race. Like, Simone's going to swim her race, and I just have to trust myself. So, I mean, it was this moment, like literally from the second I dove in, where I was like, I'm going to do it. Like, I just knew in my bones.
You just hit that flow state where the game was so easy for you.
Yep. And I got into like the best groove. My stroke felt amazing. And then even coming off this wall, I mean, I think I already had like a half body lead, and I was just like, this is mine. Like, and so it's 450s. And it's hard because you want to take it out so fast, but you know that you have to leave enough in the tank to come home. But yeah, I just trusted it. Like, I knew I was going to have enough to come back, so I just went for it and just like put the hammer down. And it was so, you can hear Rowdy commentating.
Wow. Yeah.
But it was just like, I wasn't going to leave anything behind.
Oh yeah, you're way out front.
Yeah, it was just like from
Your
the
whole body
second I
went
dove
down.
in, I was like, this is my race. No one is going to touch me on this race.
Yeah, you're just swimming super confident right here.
Yeah.
Yeah. That looks so beautiful, just gliding through the water.
Yeah. And no,
How important is it strategically to stay underwater on the turn?
for freestyle, not as much as say backstroke or individual medley, but underwaters have become really, really crucial as a part of swimming over the last 10 years.
Oh, dude, here it comes.
Yeah, and
Let's
so
go.
I don't celebrate. Like, I'm not a celebrator at the end of races, and I think I did a fist slap. I don't know if they're going to show it, but like, again, like your team, like, yeah, that's my version of celebrate.
Just a little slap in the water. Let's go.
But I normally didn't even do that. But I was so excited. And again, like, it's the team. Like, it wasn't just that I had won an NCAA title. It was like I had just gotten points for my team, and we ended up winning the team NCAA championship that year as well. So it was just like the perfect storybook ending to my collegiate career. And yeah, the 139.1, there's been I would say the best collegiate swimmer in history is Gretchen Walsh, and she just finished up her last season, and oh my gosh, tooth and nail the whole season. I was like, oh, it's going for sure. And it's not even her best event, but she's just so talented, but somehow it's still alive and well.
That means that is a hard thing to do 10 years later, and there's been incredible athletes.
Yes. So I'm very honored. I'm very honored that my name is still up there among them.
Yeah. So I've always wondered that, as like a NFL record holder or a U.S. Olympic record holder, there's probably a small, actually, is there a part of any of you that wants it to be broken? Or it's like, I want to hold on to this forever.
I don't think there's any part of you that wants it to be, but you know that it's going to be. So like, I remember watching my 200 backstroke world record, and it was broken by Regan Smith, which was just like,
she's a beast. Yeah.
The coolest way for it to get broken, right? By the person who would move on to become the face of backstroke for USA Swimming. And I just couldn't love her more. I love that we were keeping it in the U.S., that she was continuing this legacy of women's backstroke for the U.S. So it was just like, no, of course you never want to see them broken. But at the same time, when they are, like, it's weird. It's almost like this full circle feeling of like, I did my part, you know, and like I was a part of it. But I've always said that, the records are going to fall. You're not going to remember your times, but people are always going to remember how you made them feel. And I feel like that was also something that was just such an important value to me throughout my career, is like, I would rather someone remember how I treated them in a ready room, or how I treated them before a race or after a race, than remembering I went a 2:04 in my 200 backstroke.
Yeah, and when you have that reputation and then you win, it makes everybody want to celebrate you even more, right? It makes everybody want to, everybody's inspired right along with you.
Yeah.
And you mentioned the word preparation a bunch of times.
Yeah.
And it's an asymmetry between how many hours you spend practicing versus how many minutes you're actually in the pool, right?
Yes.
It's like swimming and track and field are pretty much those
It's
two.
honestly something we're trying to change about like year-round swimming for younger athletes, because that's hard for young kids.
Yeah.
Like in other sports where you're practicing throughout the week and then you have a game every weekend, it's you kind of get that example of like, work hard, get the reward, see the progress. Swimming, it's like even at that younger age, you have a meet every 3 to 4 months.
Right, right.
So you're going to practice
Yeah.
5 to 6 days a week, and
Yeah.
you're like, all right, I'm competing when?
Yeah.
So I think we actually have some work to do there in terms of making swimming more accessible and just more fun, especially for younger kids.
Right. Swimming is huge in this area. I mean,
love that.
yeah,
Well, yeah.
even every like neighborhood has their own neighborhood pool,
I
and then
love
they have
that.
their teams for their neighborhood pool, and then you have like the swim mac and
Yeah,
all of that
swim
is
mac, of
here.
course.
Yeah, for sure. So, how does I guess an interesting question that I'm genuinely curious about is how does the preparation from that high level elite preparation from swimming translate into life? Like, post swimming now, you're quote unquote normal now, right? Like you're, a lot of like, the military says like you're a citizen now,
Yes.
There's nothing negative about that. It's just
No,
like
it's
not
the
everybody,
stage.
not everybody can win 5 Olympic gold medals. And so now that you are no longer in contention of that, you're living a normal life. You'll always have that be obviously a huge part of your legacy, but there's these certain ideas that don't go away.
Yeah.
There's these certain philosophies and rituals and habits, principles, whatever you want to call them. Preparation is a common theme through your life. Like your sport, especially,
Yeah.
just inherently maybe even over prepares you, but
Yes.
prepares you, right?
Yep.
So how do you translate preparation, the word preparation,
Yep.
into everyday life to, and now that you don't have the high of winning the 2015 NCAA championships for UC Berkeley and breaking the all-time 200-meter freestyle record, how do you find those wins and
Yeah.
how do you prepare for the wins that you're finding in real life, quote unquote, real life now?
TK, it's so funny. This is such a silly example, but like this is just the season I'm in. Like this is life. For me, it was preparation allowed me to enjoy the destination more. And I think anyone would attest to that. Like the times that I was most nervous in my career is when I didn't feel fully prepared. And that's how I feel in every area of my life. If I go into something and I don't feel like I've done what I need to do to prepare, I don't enjoy it as much because I'm more nervous, I'm more stressed, I'm more anxious. But when I know I've done everything I possibly can, all of that is able to kind of dissipate and just leave more room for joy and actually being present in the experience. So this is this ridiculous example, but packing to come here, like with 2 girls, even when it's a quick trip, there's so much you have to think about when it comes to packing. It's the clothes, the diapers, the pull-ups, the wipes, the toys, the pack and play. Like it's so much. But it was like I started packing well in advance. Like I had a checklist. I got through everything. And so when it was actually time to leave, I was just excited because I was like, I'm prepared. Like the girls have everything they need. There's an extra onesie in the diaper bag so that when Chase has the biggest blowout of her life on the airplane, I've got an extra set of clothes for her. So like I'm able to actually like just enjoy it because I've kind of done that preparation. But even in the smallest moments like that, I feel that carrying over in my life. But especially as a mom and a wife, like being prepared as much as you can be, like for me, just allows me to then just like sit back and truly find the joy. And of course, there's still stress and anxious ridden moments, but the preparation, I think, just allows more room for joy.
I love the translation of that.
Yeah.
Because oftentimes, in my fellow athlete friends that have, done great things in sport, a lot of times that becomes like the peak.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm sure you're very familiar with this.
Totally. When I retired, I was terrified.
Yeah. It's like, how am I going to top that?
Absolutely. Yes.
And it becomes this thing that for a lot of people, a lot of athletes don't think about how to translate sport into, I think a lot about how to translate sports into a business.
It's the best part about sport.
All the time. That's all, anytime I'm like, there's something going wrong in the business or in personal life too.
Yeah.
My default is to just say, well, what would we have done? What would the Giants organization or the Chippewas organization, what would we have done in this situation? Oh, we would have stayed longer and practiced harder, whatever it might be. And then you try to make some translation to that. So I really love the simple translation from preparation then to now in your new normal. I think a lot of people are probably refreshed to hear that as well. Yeah.
And I think another big one that's been really translatable for me is just the idea of delayed gratification And I know you get this a lot too, of like, I think we live in a world where people just want to see fast results and they want the easiest way from A to B, and then they want to see results immediately. And that was something that sport taught me that I'm so grateful for, is that sometimes you just have to put in the work and trust that it's going to show up. And it may not show up tomorrow, and it may not show up in a week or a month or even 6 months, but in a year, in 2 years. Like, it's just the importance of that process in and of itself, I feel like, is so powerful. And that for me, especially in raising kids, of like the day to day, like it's the most fulfilling and rewarding job in the world. And it is also exhausting. But to think like what we're doing right now is setting our girls up for a wonderful childhood that they're going to look back on, and in turn have a great relationship with us that's based on honesty and respect. Like, that is ultimately what we're working for every single day. And you know what? Sometimes we see glimpses of that now, but ultimately, like, we're not going to see the fruitfulness of that until they're 18 years old,
Right.
you know?
Yeah.
And so, like, talk about true delayed gratification. Like, that is parenthood. And so I've been incredibly thankful to that aspect of sport. But there are so many lessons that sport has taught me that I feel like are so prevalent in my day to day.
And, you know, we live in a world now where, and although I hate the statistic, hate is a true word. I want nothing more than for this to go the opposite way. But the reality is since I entered the fitness market in 2012 with our first gym in the parking lot, the overweight and obesity percentage of America was at about 62%. Today, it's about 70%. And so we live in this world where there's more availability.
Yeah.
There's more resources than there's ever has been. And I think we're, you know, I don't want to like demonize the industry that I'm in or anything like that, but I'm also a person of statistic, and the data shows that what we are doing, the approach we are taking, isn't working.
Yeah.
Right? How could there be more available options than ever before, and still more people unhealthy, not feeling their best, mild depression, and lifestyle induced ailments like this, right? I'm not talking about the genetically induced side of the world. The vast majority of people in that category who don't want to be there, right? If you want to be there by all means. Like, if big is beautiful to you and you understand the risks of being obese and that is the lifestyle you want to live, I'm going to high five you and we're going to live that. That's fine. But almost everyone that I talk to who is there doesn't want to be there. They don't want to be there. They're trying as hard as they can to eat better, to exercise more. They're trying as hard as they can to reverse the belief systems that, you know, you were fortunate to have parents who really installed great belief systems in you from a very, very beginning, right? Which helped you on this pathway coupled with your talent to become elite, because you have to be elite mentally and physically and emotionally and all these things.
Yeah.
And, you know, I can empathize with people that didn't necessarily have that, you know, and so they grow up with these belief systems that lead them to believe certain things. And all of a sudden you wake up and you're 40 and you're 42 and you're like, wow, I really don't like where I'm at. Here's all these options that are available and at scale. Generally speaking, we're using them maybe, but we expect this short term return on our investment. And that's what I love about our partnership, is that we are able to take the uninspired, take the people who really need us to say, you can do this. We believe in you. Right? Our Burn Bootcamp members aren't coming from like, for the majority of the time, they're not coming as a fitness enthusiast. They're not coming like in peak shape already.
From a massive sports background.
They're coming from like, I never had any of this stuff. And I'm talking in generalities here, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, there's all types of people that come to Burn. But in generalities, that's who we're built for.
Yeah.
Is those who feel disenfranchised. They don't get encouragement in the four walls of the home that they're in. Mm-hmm. So the only place that they sometimes feel inspired is to be sitting, in the four walls of Burn on our floating floor, getting after it with Missy and your people.
And you've created a space that meets people exactly where they're at. And I think that's what is one of the many things that makes Burn so special, is it's like we don't expect you to walk through these doors as anything but who you are right now in this moment.
Right.
And we're here for where you want to go. Like, what do you want out of this? And we are here to help you in that. We will give you anything that you need right off the bat, whether it's modifications, whether it's mod ups, like anything, but we are going to meet you exactly where you are. That's why all of our trainers are so good. Like, the way that they can work a room of so many people, but individually know what those people need and how they can help those people. Like, that's what is so powerful about it.
And it's been so amazing to be partnered with you to just work on the inspiration that people need. I think we get short-term motivation, Missy, but that short-term motivation needs, you need to recharge that motivation a lot of times. You don't need to recharge inspiration. And, somebody. Or dedication, right? And it's somebody like you who is dedicated to God, to Christ, their family, and ultimately you look at your own health, happiness, attitude as a reflection of that dedication, so that you can be the mirror image for the people in your life is just such a, it's such a scarce thing in this world. And I want to thank you for being who you are because leadership, just look to politics, right, for this. Yeah. Leadership is so scarce.
Yeah.
There is a scarcity of leadership and leadership qualities. And the way that you've risen to the top of swimming and then continue to rise in your own life, through God, through your family is so inspiring.
Thank you.
Thank you for being on the mission with us.
Thank you for having me on the mission with you. Yeah. Truly, it's just such an honor. And it's just, I don't feel more at home than when I'm with you guys because I just feel like all of our values are the exact same. Like they just align perfectly. So the fact that I get to be a voice of something that means so much to me is just the most incredible thing.
Well, we're going to keep it going.
Yeah, we are.
And we're going to find better ways, more creative ways.
And we're going to
inspire people.
Help all the people.
Yep, we're going to help all the people. All right. And so you guys can follow Missy on Instagram, on any platform. You can catch her at Bellevue if you ever want to go.
Come on down.
What camp do you usually go to?
We just started going to the 8:30 because Chase has been waking up now around 7:30. Right. So she wakes up, feed her, and we hit that 8:30. She's still in her little happy just woke up stage. So it's
nice.
Perfect.
Take both the kids and
both the kids.
They watch mom getting after it every day.
Hayes is a 4 p.m.er.
Okay.
Sometimes I'm a 7 a.m.er.
Okay.
Depending on whether or not I kind of want a little me time and just get out and bust a workout in before I come home. But any camp is a great camp.
All right. Well, I know Missy welcomes you all to visit Bellevue and take a camp with her. Or on demand. We just did an on-demand workout. You guys can go, if you're a member of Burn Boot Camp on demand, go play that back. Monday through Friday, we are live. But what we do is we take all those live workouts and then we load them on the library for you. So me kicking Missy's butt for a core strength and conditioning day.
Live on there forever.
It'll be there forever. All right. And we look forward to having you next time. Missy, thank you so much. You're amazing. You're incredible.
Thanks, TK. Feelings mutual.
We're going to take it out like we always do. 2 claps on 2. 1, 2. We did good. That was great.
Perfect.
See you guys. Have a good time.